The problem is not just that you say it. The problem is that you believe it. Every time you speak without acting, your mind deceives itself. You think you've made progress, when in reality, you haven't moved a single finger. Talking without acting is an emotional trap. It's a way to feel like you're progressing when you're actually stuck. And worst of all, you're losing credibility with yourself. Success isn't shouted. It's built, step by step, in silence, with discipline, with action. Every time you say, "I'm going to do this," and you don't do it, your word loses value. And if your word has no value to you, it has even less value to the world. Do you want to change your life? Then stop telling the world what you're going to do. Stop expecting applause for intentions. Nobody celebrates intentions. Only results are respected. Successful people don't talk too much. They focus, they isolate themselves, they execute, and when they speak, they do so with actions. Today, I want to challenge you. Today, I want you to decide to change your approach. Fewer words, more results, less talking, more acting. Because great transformations don't come from noise. They come from the silent actions that are repeated every day. And if today you're tired of promising yourself things you don't follow through on, if you're fed up with procrastinating, if you're tired of your own voice saying, "I'll start tomorrow," then this is your moment. Get ready, because today we're going to break the cycle of indecision, mental noise, and self-deception. Today begins a new chapter. Talk less, act more. Action doesn't make noise. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need validation. Action is silent but powerful. While others wait to feel motivated, you are in motion. And while they keep planning the perfect move, you've already won half the game just by starting. Consistent action is your best weapon. You don't need to take giant leaps every day. You just need to move forward. One step, then another, and then another. Want to know a secret? The people who achieve great things aren't the smartest or the most prepared. They're the ones who don't stop, who work when no one sees them, who act without excuses, who act even when they're afraid, who act even if it's not the perfect moment, who act while others are still talking. And that, my friend, is what sets you apart from the rest. It's not what you say, it's what you do. It's not what you think, it's what you execute. It's not the brilliant idea, it's the steady step. Success belongs to those who move, those who act, those who don't stop. Do you have a dream? Perfect. Do you have a goal? Excellent. But let me tell you something that might hurt. Your goal doesn't care how much you dream about it. It cares how much you move toward it. Many people get stuck in a phase that seems productive but isn't. They visualize, they make lists, they listen to podcasts, they read motivational books. All of that is fine. But if it doesn't lead to action, it's useless. Motivation without movement is entertainment. And you're not here to entertain yourself. You're here to build your life. Every time you sit down and take a step, no matter how small, you're training your mind to obey your decisions, not your emotions. And that's power, because emotions change, but firm decisions change your destiny. Your goal doesn't need you to announce it. It doesn't need likes or applause. It just needs you to stand up and walk toward it. And the sooner you start, the sooner you reach it. Most people don't act, not because of a lack of time, but because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of not being perfect, fear of what others will say. But let me give you a simple and liberating truth. Everyone is afraid, but only a few act despite it. And those few are the ones who move forward. The ones who don't get stuck waiting for the ideal moment, because the ideal moment doesn't exist. You'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have all the perfect conditions. And that's okay. Do you know what frees you from fear? Action. Once you start, even with a small step, fear begins to lose its strength because your mind focuses on what you're doing, not on what you were afraid of. Fear shouts, but action silences it. So don't wait to feel brave to act. Act, and the courage will come. Do it with fear, do it trembling, but do it because every time you do, you become stronger, more confident, more unstoppable. Is there anything more powerful than motivation? Discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Motivation gets you started. Discipline makes you finish. Do you want real results? Then you need to develop the habit of doing what you must do, even when you don't feel like it. Disciplined people aren't robots. They don't always feel good. They aren't always inspired. What they have is an unbreakable commitment to their goals. And that commitment is shown through daily action. Discipline is what makes you get up early, what makes you work when others rest, what makes you move forward step by step without looking for excuses. It's the voice inside you that says, it doesn't matter how you feel, do it anyway. And here's the truth, you don't need to feel motivated to act, but you do need to act to feel motivated. When you fulfill your duties, your self-esteem rises. When you move forward, your confidence grows. When you do the hard things, life becomes easier. Talk less about what you're going to do and commit to daily action. That's true discipline. Many people believe that to change their life, they need a big opportunity, a big stroke of luck, or a great idea. But the reality is much simpler and much more powerful. Your life changes when your habits change, and habits are built with small daily actions. You don't need to run a marathon today. You just need to put on your sneakers and go for a walk. You don't need to write a book in one day. You just need to write one page. You don't need to transform your body in 1 week. You just need to eat well today. What you do every day is more important than what you do once in a while. And that's what most people don't understand. They wait for the epic moment. They wait for the big change. But results don't come from extraordinary moments. They come from consistency. Great achievements aren't built with explosive force. They're built with patience, repetition, and focus. Every small step counts. Every small advance adds up. And if you decide to act today, even just a little, you're already winning. Because every action you take is a silent declaration that you're serious. One of the biggest brakes on acting is this silent question, what if others criticize me? What if I mess up and they mock me? What if I don't do it perfectly and they judge me? The answer is simple, do it anyway. You have to understand this. The world won't applaud you for trying. At first it will look at you strangely. People who don't dare will always criticize those who do. It's a way to justify their own inaction. But you're not here to please. You're not here to wait for approval. You're here to grow, to move forward, to build your path. The fear of what others will say has killed more dreams than failure itself, and it's time to leave it behind. Remember this, most people who criticize you haven't even tried what you're doing. They talk, you act, and in that difference lies everything. If you wait for everyone to understand you before you start, you'll never start. And if you wait for everyone's validation before acting, you'll be stuck forever. So yes, some may not support you, some may criticize you, but act anyway, because in the end, life rewards those who move, not those who please. Nowadays, it's trendy to visualize. Close your eyes, imagine, feel it, believe it's already yours. And don't get me wrong, visualizing can be useful, but it doesn't replace execution. It doesn't matter how many times you imagine yourself in shape if you don't exercise. It doesn't matter how many times you visualize making money if you don't take action. It doesn't matter how many times you repeat affirmations if you don't get up and work. Dreaming is free. Doing costs, but doing gives you results. Many are trapped in the mind's trap. They visualize so much that they believe it's progress when in reality they're stuck. Success isn't built solely on a positive mindset. It's built with daily action, real effort, and firm decisions. So visualize, but let your visualization end with a step. Executed actions are worth more than thought-out dreams. And remember this, you are not what you think you'll do. You are what you do. Do you know one of the most common excuses that blocks success? I'm not ready yet. I want it to be perfect before I launch it. I need to prepare a little more. That's the perfectionism trap. And let me tell you clearly, perfectionism is a fancy way of procrastinating. Nobody started knowing everything. Nobody launched their first project perfectly. Nobody took their first step without stumbling a bit. But those who achieve things don't wait to be ready. They dive in, adjust on the fly, learn on the way, because they understand something others don't. Imperfect action is 1,000 times more powerful than perfect intention. Want to start a business? Start with what you have. Want to improve your body? Go for a walk today. Do it now. Do it however you can. Do it without guarantees. Do it without knowing if you'll succeed or fail, because every attempt makes you stronger. Every movement takes you away from ground zero. And that, my friend, is worth more than 1,000 beautiful ideas in your head. Do you know what sets people with results apart? Their calendar. They don't talk so much about what they'll do, they simply write it down, schedule it, and do it. Words are carried away by the wind, but what's in your calendar happens. So let me ask you directly, does your calendar reflect your dreams? Are your goals set in real work hours, or are they just floating in your mind? If you don't schedule, you don't do. If you don't have dates, you're dreaming. And dreaming is fine, but dreaming without executing is a slow way of giving up. Shut your mouth, stop saying what you're going to do. Open your calendar, block time, assign energy, organize your week, and then follow through. Do it even if no one sees you. Do it even if you're tired. Do it even if no one applauds. Because when you follow through with yourself, that's when you grow the most. Planning is important. Having a strategy is useful. But planning without acting is just a fancy way of doing nothing. Do you know what's better than a perfect plan? An imperfect plan in motion. There are people who spend weeks, months, even years refining their plan, reading, researching, watching tutorials, taking courses, and they do nothing. Over-preparation can be a cage. An excuse disguised as productivity, a way to feel like you're moving forward without moving an inch. Want to know how you really learn? By going out and making mistakes, trying, failing, correcting, and trying again. Every mistake brings you closer. Every fall teaches you, and every attempt is a victory over your own passivity. So yes, plan, but let your plan end in a step, not another piece of paper. Because what changes your life isn't the plan, it's the action. There are two types of people in this world, those who say and those who do. Those who say have great ideas, great dreams, great promises, but they never go beyond that. Those who do, on the other hand, get up every day and move forward. With fear, with tiredness, with doubts, but they move forward. And let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart. The world doesn't reward those who try in their minds. It rewards those who act in real life. So today, you have a decision. Keep talking about what you want or start building it, step by step, day by day. You already have enough motivation. You already have enough knowledge. You already know what you need to do. The only thing missing is that you act. Act even if it's not perfect. Act even if you're afraid. Act without saying anything. And let the results speak for you. Because remember this, talk less, act more. And you'll see how the world responds to those who dare to move. Close your eyes for a moment and think about that goal you've been putting off for years, that dream that haunts you, that idea that excites you, but that you've hidden under excuses, fears, doubts, or distractions. Now imagine what your life would be like if you had started it 1 year ago. Just imagine where you'd be now if you had acted that day you said, "I'll start tomorrow." How much would you have advanced if you had used the time you wasted talking, thinking, postponing? And now come back to the present and understand this. You're still in time. It doesn't matter if you failed before. It doesn't matter if you've been postponing your life for years. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're starting from zero. This moment is the turning point. This is where you decide. This is where you take control, where you stop talking and become a person of action. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you said you were going to do, it's about what you did. Even when you didn't feel like it, what you built while others gave up, what you achieved when no one believed you could. And here's the hardest but most liberating truth, nobody is going to do it for you. Not your family, not your friends, not your mentors. Nobody is going to wake you up early. Nobody is going to work for your goals. That role is yours and yours alone. But there's good news. You don't need anyone to start, you just need one decision. One firm choice that today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month, today is the day you become who you need to be. Do it even if you don't have all the answers. Do it even if your voice trembles. Do it even if you start from zero. Do it even if no one sees it, because the first one who has to believe in it is you. This world already has enough talkers, enough someday, enough when I have time, enough pretty excuses disguised as logic. What the world needs are doers, builders, actors, everyday warriors. And you have everything to be one of them, not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to act even when you're not. So turn off this video, lift your head, and do something real. Take that first step. Block that hour of work. Close that app that distracts you. Open your calendar and start doing what you said you were going to do. Because the difference between the life you want and the life you have is called action. And you're just one decision away. You've talked enough, you've dreamed enough, it's time to do, it's time to move forward. It's time to show the world what you're made of. This is your moment, and you're not going to waste it.